And I think Hardliners pretty much, it's gonna be a uphill task for them to win this round.
2v3 on a retake.
Oh, it's down to 2v2. It's a good snipe coming from Vato, and he needs a couple more snipes. Oh, tries to switch. A little bit too late there.
Left with Hour with the clutch, and the bombs finally being planted. 1v1. Hour via Shadow.
It's a 2v1 though. Flex still alive.
Oh, sorry.
And I was gonna have a tough time. I mean, there's no point saving. You can bring the next round, and points end the round will matter more. And now we're gonna see him slide and try to do decent damage with Shadow. Flex hasn't really revealed himself and doesn't even have to. And MV is gonna take 2 rounds in a row. And I think I've cast Envy's game before. I do recognize a couple of them. I recognize Kai. I've seen Prodigy play. I even casted Kai in a 1v1 tournament before. I've casted his games, so I'm sure he's definitely one of the players that you gotta look out for. But currently it's Nige as well as Flex that's leading the leaderboards with 3 kills. Earthfront doing pretty decently on Hardliners, but they've still yet to get a single point. And this time around, Envy switching things up, going up to the B bomb site. And I think that sort of caught Hardliners off guard, because they left it empty, and once again Envy gets an uncontested plant. Although we do see Shadow and Kai taking I Love Elmo and Hours out, trying to rotate around the passageway, but instantly gets taken out. And I mean, the B shot is a very easy place to enter. It is a choke point for Hardliners, because if they put like a couple of one sniper there, you can put a couple of snipers. But if you put one snipers there, then it might be tough to break in. But so far, Envy playing mind game. Fun, play it slow, and I mean, what do you think of this? Because Envy is now on the lead. You can see they're just breaking Hardliners down. They haven't really revealed the bomb's position, although that kind of gives a good idea of where they're going in. And they push their way to A. And this is the, I think this is the 4th time in a row that we have seen Envy manage to break into a bomb site.
Looks like Hardliners are playing a little bit too aggressive as defenders. You see your Flash coming in from the back. Yeah, they're not really anchoring down to the bomb site. That's why Envy had it easy. They went in uncontested and managed to got planted down.
Yeah, and even now you can see Envy just trying to buy time. They did manage to get the 2 kills, and Hardliners, well, like you said, playing a little bit too aggressively, but they did manage to get the defuse. And I'm sure they will be pretty happy with that.
Now we're down to 1:3 in favor of Envy.
Pretty surprised to see that no one actually took up the basketball court. The previous round they placed 2 people at the basketball court. I think that's pretty good. You know, you generally want to put one down mid, just to guard. And this time around we might see a bit of action. Oh, the timing though. I think they're going for a take.
Yeah, they're trying for an A take. They're front with the wallbangs. Find some.
Oh, I swear, like going down to a wallbang is the worst feeling ever. It's gotta be the worst. We're gonna see them try to break into the site, although Envy's got 2 members down. This time around, Hardliners holding down the ground a lot better. And it has been pretty hard for Envy this past 2 rounds, but that being said, you know, big ups to Hardliners. They finally hold their angles right. I guess in the earlier rounds, like, Hardliners weren't that warmed up, if I put it that way. Like, Envy was just consistently breaking into the site after taking 1 or 2 kills, and for the most part, I think the rep around was a little bit slow for Hardliners, but they have been winning those 1v1s. So you gotta give it to them for that. But I think Hardliners, they kind of licked the B side, although they have a pretty easy retake though. It's 4v2.
Yeah, it's to their advantage. Now Hour try and push in from the Far right flank.
And obviously pushing into...
He gets taken up by Kai. Kai now left alone with a clutch to deny the defusal.
I mean, he's actually in the windows and... Oh, it's a 1v1.
1v1 and the bomb's defused. Does Kai knows this? And he was too late. He realized it too late.
Oh, Linus, they go in for the sneaky defuse, and I mean, I can't blame Kai because at this point in time, you must be thinking to yourself, okay, it must be a fake defuse. He must be going for the fake defuse. He wants to take the fight, and by the time he got to the site, it was a little bit too late. So Hardliners, they sneaked that defuse in, but that was too close for comfort. They were 4v2, and despite that, the retake didn't look as simple as it should have been. MV now currently sitting 1 point ahead. Well, I would hate, honestly, I hate to be on the CT side for Hardliners because I don't know, I feel like I'm just not that comfortable. And this map, it's so open, and it does give a lot of opportunities for terrorists to break into the site, or rather the attackers to the site.
Yeah, if you actually think about it, the attackers are always having the advantage because, you know, for defenders you will have to split your manpower, and if you stack onto one side, you always have the numbers game. You got the player advantage.
Oh yeah, and you know, obviously we are looking at a more aggressive MV now, trying to break into the site by force. They did manage to get 2 kills onto Flash and Irfan. And I guess this is where Hardliners... Oh, good snipe from...
Beautiful shot.
That was just pristine coming through, and that's definitely going to be a bit of an issue without Kai as well as Prodigy. It's going to be hard.
Oh no, the bomb got diffused.
Once again, Hardliners, they
failed to
pull
deny
out the sneaky defuse.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard though for MV's portion. It's always harder to defend the bomb plant when you only have 2 men left. We're gonna see a little bit more action come up from MV onto the A side. I think they kind of figured out that B didn't really work for them. It's been 2 times now that they planted at B and it got diffused, and so far the more one-sided takes have been through A. So I'm guessing this is where they want to try the luck, but Vato holding down mid. Gets a little bit of spray down.
They're entering into A and the bomb is being planted.
Yeah, they didn't manage to get a Q onto Irfan and I Love Elmo. You can see the wraparound coming out from the rest of Hardliners. It's gonna be a hard push though.
Oh no, it's left with Vato for the clutch to retake the bomb site. And he gets taken out.
Lost that round, but it's not over yet.
Pretty tough round for Hardliners. They were outplayed by MV there, but you know, I love the way Hardliners play. They're not too afraid to take trades, and for the most part, I think I Love Elmo has been getting a lot of those one taps in. Like we saw the six snipe onto B, the quick scope onto A. This time around they go, oh, the grenade coming through. They trade kills though. Flex getting a 1 onto Vato. And obviously Kai being taken out.
Oh, now you see Elmo taking a more aggressive spot in A side. He spots them, but he misses them.
Yeah,
he misses
I think that first shot was crucial. If he got that first shot, it would, you know, make it a lot harder for MV to break in. And at the same time, they don't know how many members there are in A. Hardliners gonna station 1 member in mid, while the other is just gonna stick through A long. Elmo gonna stick onto the A side vigilantly. We can't really see how much time there is left, but I'm pretty sure MV's gonna make a play pretty soon. And it looks like B is gonna be the site that he wants to break in.
Contact with enemy.
There we have the bomb plant. Oh, and he was denied. So now it's left with Nige.
And they're gonna tie up at 4. And obviously we will swap rounds after the 9th round. So I would say this has been a pretty decent half from Envy.
Defend the
Like,
objective.
they got like 3 really quick rounds in. But Hardliners have been so hard to break down after that 4th round. And once again, I Love Elmo getting a quick tap onto Nige. Down to 2 bars. Obviously, he's gonna use the make it. No issue there. Gets the shot onto Prodigy.
Really aggressive sniper plays here.
Obviously, they don't really have to care too much about how Envy is gonna break into. As long as I Love Elmo holds down the A side, I think it's gonna be hard for them to break because you do have Envy that loves to wrap around A long, and it looks like they're gonna go towards B. Yeah, it looks like a B take. But they're definitely not going through mid. Irfan making a lot of sound. And it looks like Flex is gonna hold that angle just to make sure that no one backstabs them. Gonna get the easy bomb plant. Throwing for a lucky nade.
Bomb has been planted.
Enemy inside.
Meanwhile, we do see the rest of Envy just gonna spread themselves out. The smoke gonna allow them to come in. Owl gets the trade, but Flex immediately comes in, trades for the kill.
Almost up.
And looks like Shadow will be able to get 2 on the board. I Love Elmo once again with the quick scope. Make it 2 by Kai. Will finish that round up. Looks like it's a 5-4. Remember, 10 is the goal. And they will be swapping sides right now. What do you think about Hardliner's performance in that first half though?
Defend the objectives.
I feel like they weren't actually anchoring their sights hard enough. So you see a lot of times Envy actually got into the site and planted the bomb uncontested, which is not really a good thing. Yeah, so they have to actually work on the defense. That's what I feel personally.
Yeah, I think Raid is a but I come back to the point. I think Raid is a tough map for CT side. You know, you got a lot of open play, and Envy obviously or the Hardliners in the previous round obviously played a lot more aggressively, and they have swapped sides, so Envy is actually on the blue team now. Oh, sorry, Envy is on Raid team now. Like a small mistake there on my part. Looks like Kai wants to break in. Tries to get the tap. We'll be able to get a kill, and looks like Hardliners are going to be able to get the C4 down.
Bomb defused. Lost that round, but it's not over yet. Ready up.
And it looks like gonna see Envy get 1 more point into the back.
Defend the objective. The enemy has the bomb.
I think Hardliners are a team that loves to like play very actively. Like they like to wrap around, they like to trade for blows. But at this point in time, Envy, they just hold their angle so well. And Kai has been able for the most part to clear the side out pretty efficiently. They let Hardliners go in, they're prepared for the retake. And lucky Nate through the high doesn't pick up a kill, but he will slide in, taps Irfan off. He's just gonna make sure that there's no one in the swimming pool, but little does he know there is a small little lurker at the corner of the bar, and Kai just checking his corners now. Oh, he spots the head.
Takes him out.
Vado a little bit unfortunate there. Oh, Kai going in by force, and wow,
Well,
he
that was
opens
a
the side.
Sick entry.
The retake though from Envy, that was pretty sick. I mean, if I was Hardliners, I definitely would have expected that. Kai just sliding in, getting the kill, and kind of puts Hardliners on a little bit of a pressure now because they are on the T side, and being on the attacking side, you do not want to give away too many points or not. It's going to be a lot difficult, but
Contact with enemy.
did you trade 4 versus 4 at this point? And we talked a little bit about the weapons before, the weapons of choice before that. We said that we were definitely going to see a lot of PDW, and we are seeing that.
It's a really close quarter weapon.
It is red, and red is not exactly the biggest of map when it comes
Yeah.
down to like combat. Like it is a big map into the rotation, but if you look at the fights that happen, it's very close. Like even for A long, I don't even know why I call it an A long, but you know, it isn't really a long if you think about it, because you do close up as a CT, or rather as the defending side, you close out a lot of distance by going into the side, and you can see it's a lot of right angles, and red is just a map that's just nice in terms of distance to kind of use the PDW.
And I believe it's also the strongest SMG at the moment. So,
Yeah, obviously.
yeah.
It's the only SMG anyone would use. Like no one uses the
Yes.
APS.
Time's almost up.
Like Kai once again being a little bit aggressive, getting a double kill in the round against Vato. Nige coming in from the side gets another one, and Irfan gets taken out instantly as they trade. And yet again, it's another defuse, and
Lost that round, but it's not over yet.
A team, well, 8-5 in the favor of Envy.
Envy, yes.
And
Objectives. They have
what can I say? They are very comfortable in giving away the A bomb site. I'll give you that, right? They obviously practically invite the opponents to go into the A site, and once the bomb plant is down, their retake is so strong. But it looks like they got caught off guard this time.
Same.
And wow.
Hardliners are attacking the B side now to manage to get a bomb planted down. And now it's left with Flex. With a 1v3 to clutch this game. Solo retake. Let's go.
We did see Hardliners switch it up, and I think that kind of really did caught Envy off guard, because they were so comfortable in the A side, and pretty surprised to see that Hardliners actually broke into B side as easily as they did. But now they are in the forefront. They got to see 4 fronted. I don't think Flex is gonna be able to. He's got so little time, and he's got so little HP. 2 more taps from the members of Hardliners should do the trick, and then just delaying the time, and this round is pretty much gonna go to Hardliners.
Nice work. Get ready for the next round.
C4 is gonna blow up, and Hardliners now 6-8, getting 1 point more.
Defend the objective.
2 more points for Envy to get the game in hand. And Flex with the quick pick down the middle. He's gonna push in.
Spots no one, yeah. He knows that they're not coming A.
Like you can see that the rest of Envy have already rotated to the B side, and this is
my
hard push.
games. You see what Hardliners did there? They faked a B rush, and then they went back to A. So the bomb
That was
site
a
was
really
actually
smart
that was actually uncontested.
They left the entire B side, and now we're gonna see Flex try to drop the smoke. Shadow is gonna get the backstab. He gets 1 kill in the back onto Vato. Spots another member. Can he get the headshot off? Well, he's doing decent damage. He finally gets the kill onto Flash, and it looks like we're gonna see the rest of Envy clean up.
Bomb defused. Lost that round.
There we have it. Match point in favor of MV.
3 rounds to play with. 4 to be exact, but I'm sure they don't want to bring it to 9-9. It does invite a lot of unnecessary pressure. We do see Envy play a little bit slowly. What do you think is the key point for Hardliners now?
Hardliners, oh, they have been quite how would I say, more successful in terms of rushing into the site. the
You're the last one.
I think if they keep it if they keep up with their strategies and they win like the duels, it's actually quite doable for them.
Absolutely, and I gotta say, like going into B is a lot harder, and fun with the defense, and now they got tied 79. But yeah, I think B side is a lot harder. It's particularly easy to get in, and it's also pretty easy to retake. Hence why you can see Envy putting a lot of focus down onto the B bomb side, and they're pretty much like putting 4 men in there at any single time. Like look at the retreat, they've got the
Grenade out!
sniper just guarding A, going for quick scopes. And Red is just a
Oof. Nice shot by Elmo. Gets taken out by the PDW.
I'm pretty sure you were about to say PDF file there, but wait, you do see Envy play a little bit aggressively. They did manage to get the plant down.
Now 2v2.
1 more minute to go as
And the bomb is down. That's not. It's. Ooh.
yeah, bomb is down, but it doesn't really matter. That's a true question, does it? Now, really though, does it matter though? Because Envy, they walk away with the first game. And remember, it's a best of 3, so Hardliners, they will have one more opportunity to defend this. What map do you think is going to be played on next?
Back to.
I think Submit is a map that I would enjoy playing. Either Submit or... I don't know. I don't know if it's a choice, but I would definitely love to play... I think Crash is pretty fun. Like, Crash is not too bad.
Personally, I prefer Crash. Yeah.
Serious?
Yeah, it's
No.
it's an OG map. It's like every Call of Duty player's OG map. Yeah, so
Okay.
it's very comfortable for me.
I mean, but if you love OG map, shouldn't you choose like Hijack or something? Isn't that a map like you? But then again, it's a search and destroy, so we will definitely not
Yeah.
see Hijack. I think Submit is definitely my map to go to. I think Submit is a lot more fun, and Submit is just a map where you get multi layers. There's a lot of angles to play with. And it's not that claustrophobic if you think about it. It's slightly different in a sense where the mid isn't really like very obvious. Like if you compare to firing range, the mid is very obviously the mid. There's A long. You have your B with your corners that you can kind of use your SMGs, and yeah, it's definitely less challenging than Submit, but I don't know. Submit's just pretty cool, and it's the only map that has snow, so I'm all for it.
Okay, each to its own.
You make it sound like Submit it's a bad map to have.
I mean, personally, I'm all for Crash, man. It's a very well, like I said, it's very comfortable for me. And Submit.
I mean, which side do you kind of prefer playing on Crash? Do you prefer playing on the attacking side or defending side?
Defending, actually, it's easier to defend Crash. Yeah, because you, especially on the B side, it's indoors. You just need to hold down the angers, and it's very hard to infiltrate. Yeah.
I can kind of understand. Like you do have. I mean, it's pretty hard to go to the B side, but I guess there's a reason why a lot of players go to A. Although you will have to go through that very tight corridor where players are just gonna snipe there. And given that there is only one sniper, what do you think is the difference? Because if you play in ranks, everyone has a sniper. Like for some reason, everybody thinks that they can snipe, and I mean there are pretty good snipers out there. But obviously, when you only have one sniper, what do you think is different compared to like normal rank games?
I mean, first of all, it's nicer to watch. You wouldn't want to see like all snipers team against each other, and also it puts a lot more emphasis again. I mean, towards the gun place. It's not all quick scopes, and you get to test their true marksmanship.
I agree as well. Like I mean, I hate it. I'm okay with it, but you know, at the same time, I'm in a love-hate relationship with sniper rifles. I mean, obviously, it feels really good when you get those one taps, but well, when you get one tap yourself, it's the worst. It's absolutely worst. But yeah, I see what you
deleted.
mean. Absolutely, and looks like we'll go for a 5 minutes break. We are waiting for the players to come in, but I think they need a break as well. So we go for a 5 minutes break. When we are back, more Call of Duty Mobile and the MyRepublic Game Arena.
Here we go, map 2. Okay, so like you were saying, Submit is the second map of the game.
And we are about to go into the second game. And yep, excited for Submit. And I don't know, Prodigy is actually a sub team, and I want to see if we might go in, because Hardliners against Envy, you know, obviously Envy picked up the first game. They gotta feel really good about it. I think honestly we might see a change in the lineup. That's what I'm getting. That's the word that I'm getting from production. We might see a sub in terms of players, and we're just waiting for the final players to come in. That makes it, you know, what are your predictions going into game number 2?
Game number 2. Well, I'd like to see a more well-rounded defense from Hardliners. Yeah, because they seem to be not anchoring down sites as hard. I mean, like as we saw the previous game. So, well, let's see what happens this round.
It's actually a sub team, and it turns out, or rather not turns out, but we need the community, but Hardliners are actually the main team, so looks like we might be seeing a bit of a difference here. In terms of gameplay, it is Submit. It's going to be a lot more challenging, especially for the CT side. Prodigy not too afraid to actually try to go the aggressive one. Drops the trophy system down, gets taken out instantly. Kai deciding to hold right on top of it, goes right into the middle.
Frag out!
Someone's right outside of a long flash,
The enemy has the bomb.
hovering alongside I Love Elmo, and they're gonna find anyone, but
The bomb's being planted at A side. Now it's up to the 4 members of the defending side to retake the site.
Time's almost up. It's all up to you now. Finish the mission. Bomb defused. Nice work. Get ready for the next round. Defend the objectives. They have the bomb.
Frag out!
Okay, so now we're seeing the perspective of Elmo from Hardliners. Is holding the B side. It's a 2-man B defense, and it seems like Envy is taking it slow. Bomb's not spotted yet. They're testing water, and no shots being fired yet.
Enemy
We
contact.
hope to see some gunplay. Oh, looks like they're committing to the A side now, to the B side now.
I got shot!
And there we have it, first blood. That was quick trade by Flash. And now we're down with 3v3. And the bomb is yet to be planted with only 37 seconds remaining.
Time's almost up.
30 seconds remaining and no bomb plants yet.
Target's in sight.
Finally, they got the bomb planted down in the A site and
The bomb has been planted.
so need 2v3 remaining.
Time's almost up.
You can see here Our trying his best to retake the site. Manages clear off one. Oh, it gets taken out, traded off by Shadow, and we're down to a 1-1.
Defend the objective. The enemy has the bomb.
Frag out.
Alright, so here we see they're doing a 2-1-2 defense threat by the defending side. And once again, MV playing it slow, trying to test which side has like a better defense. And no shots fired yet. Playing it slow, trying to get info. And picking off the defenders.
I guess it's gonna be pretty hard because we do see hardliners obviously holding their ground. They try to, like you said, you know, they're trying to find out which side. It's a lot easier to break in. And at this point in time, Elmo gets a blood, comes in from the back. And in fact, I guess Prodigies didn't really expect that backstep, but they do manage to take Flash out, and that's gonna be down to a 4v2. Elmo find his luck around the side of the water tank, and you know, B-Long is just not an easy way back in. It's a very tight corner, and I guess Elmo kind of figures out that it's gonna be hard for him to get a kill there. Well, they got 30 seconds left to pull this miraculous comeback, but I'm sure it's gonna be hard because at this point it looks like
Irfan remaining, left clutch. And he's down to 1 HP, but unfortunately he gets taken out too. And now we were down to 1-2-2 in favor of Envy.
just looking really strong, and you know, I gotta say, I feel like they're just feeling a lot more confident with that one game in hand. And we all know what a morale boost can do for you, especially in Call of Duty Mobile. You can see them now just playing a lot more aggressively, and they get shredded to pieces, although they did manage to pick up a kill into Owl. So, honestly, the best trade over there for hardliners.
Now they're down to a 3v4.
I do realize that, oh, too many angles to cover and Elmo gets taken out. But I do realize that Envy love to play on the outside. They did do a 2-man rush straight into control room, but for the most part, the middle of the map has been pretty much dominated by hardliners, and because of that, I guess Envy, they have to settle for moving on the outside. It's a lot more open area, and it's way harder to hold down, and it has, you know, garnered some sort of success for Envy.
Yeah, and you also realize that they play kind of slowly. Like they like to test the water. They like test.
Yeah, they do, obviously. And I think they're counting a lot on I Love Elmo, or rather Prodigy, to get a snipe off. And if they can get a kill, then generally they will try to push in. But before that first frag comes in, I realize, like you said, you know, Envy, they like to hold their ground, but they're slowly inching through the mid hours, getting the kill immediately backed off. But the trade comes in. Prodigy with a 3-man snipe. And can they actually pull this off? Elmo taking a hit from the back. And well, can Prodigy get the ace? Jumps up, tries to go for the quick scope. Looks like I'm gonna see I Love Elmo and Irfan rotate back into mid. I Love Elmo getting quick scope there onto Kai. Prodigy gonna be holding down all by his own. Shadow doing a good cover. And unfortunately,
It's not over yet.
no ace, but still, Envy get one more round into the back end. You can sense it. Envy now just brimming with confidence.
And it's gonna be quite devastating for hardliners. It's not really very encouraging if you're on a losing streak.
Yeah, they need that couple of wins to get back like some sort of confidence.
You can
So I mean, we do see Shadow now with the top number of frags. He's obviously getting a lot of these entry frags for his team, and once again, they get the bomb planted down on the A side. Kai actually tried to look around B, didn't really work out there, got picked off. And I guess it was a fake. Now coming outside on A long. I Love Elmo as the rest of hardliners trying to make a play happen. Flex taking a bit of damage, but they can't seem to break this down. 17 seconds to go. Spraying right through the smoke. They get one kill. Shadow coming right through. 12 seconds to go. And all Shadow has to do is delay the defuse. But unfortunately for him, he got taken out. And Irfan will clutch this round out with only 3 seconds remaining. That was a close call for hardliners.
That was heart-wrenching.
Yeah, like, I mean, you gotta be, you put yourself in the shoes of, you know, hardliners where they came with the side, they had like a 4v3 and they did manage to get a good kill from the outside, and I gotta say,
Look at the
Kai.
triple kill. We're seeing a little bit of a change in strat here by hardliners. They're all stacking up to B in their, even though they're on their defending side. Unfortunately, they got traded off by Kai.
Didn't really work out there. Kai slowly closing, getting more frags in his back, catching up to Shadow now.
Time's almost up.
And as I say that, I think Shadow kinda got the motivation to get one out of a Kai, keeping it really close, and to get the 5th round in favor of Envy.
Defend the objective. They have the
I'm
bomb.
gonna see Owl's move
Grenade out.
over onto the A long, and they're stacking onto A side. This is a bit of a risky play. They're trying to wrap around. They might be able to catch Envy off guard. Well, for starters, Hour is pretty much the only person that is holding B down while the rest of hardliners try to wrap around. They've got Envy cornered at this point, and Envy is all grouped up in mid. See Hours coming around. They get the first kill. Oh, and misses all the shots. That might be costly. He should have gotten the kill there. And Flex will get a free pass, and it is Shadow that takes him out. Meanwhile, Shadow rotating around. Quick kill coming out from Flex. They're trading kills left, right, and center. I Love Elmo.
The enemy has the bomb.
Nearly going down there. It eventually goes down to Prodigy. And now it's down to a 2v1. Can Flash clutch this one? Just like how Elmo did in the previous rounds.
And the bomb is being planted down in A side. Now all Envy has to do is just anchor down the site and take out
It's all up to you.
Flash.
Finish the mission.
Oh, as you say that, I think Flash
Oh.
went for a hunt. Didn't really get the result that he wanted to, and Flash gonna drop a trophy system down and tries to go for the defuse, gets interrupted by Flex. And obviously Flex does a splendid job at delaying time, but he got the kill, so 6-2. And obviously this is gonna be the last round before they swap sides.
Destroy the objective. They have the bomb.
Like I said,
Ever see the scrolls?
yeah, the crawling animation is just so funny. I swear,
Scrolls.
it's just such a funny thing to see. But yeah, I mean, that's why I think Sub is just such a attacking sided map. Like I said, you got a lot of angles to work with. There's just so many avenues that allows you to break into site. You know, mid is so hard to defend. And you generally have to spread a lot of members out, especially you gotta station 1 in B long, you have to station 1 in A long. And mid is the only one that I would say is pretty hard to attack because it's so claustrophobic. It's a lot of tight angles, and you know, obviously defending side will stand a chance to defend better mid, but Envy definitely not falling for the trap at this point. Grenade coming right through, he might be able to get a little bit of damage onto Elmo, although
Not enough. Prodigy gets taken out. Flash. Now they're down with 4v3. 50 seconds remaining and bomb is not planted yet. It's actually down at B side.
yeah, I guess they got picked off, but you know, it's a 4v1. I don't think Flex can do much here. He is hoping for a miracle. If he can get 1 to 2 kills, I think it's still highly possible, but I don't know. I feel like planting the bomb down, it's more detrimental. He runs straight in the corridor. 3 members there. Oh, he got a kill, and he even brought a couple of them down super low, but eventually got outgunned. And well, that is still a pretty decent round from Envy. You know, 6 rounds, and I think Hardliners, they can absolutely do what Envy did in the first half. However, I think the first 2 rounds is going to be really vital for Hardliners here. They definitely do not want to give side of Envy too much hope, although once again Kai coming through gets taken out from the back. And Prodigy with the quick scope, and now it's down to the 1v1 Owl with the slight. Kai doing decent damage. Try to take a different angle, and he comes out the window. Kai once again gets the poke in, and always doesn't have any more stamina, but he does have, and he's just gonna heal up. I got a little bit hyped up there. Don't mind me. Now it looks like we're gonna see Kai.
Ours gonna make a far rotation to the B side. Kai doesn't know it yet, but he will know it soon.
Kai's case, he doesn't really need to contest. Like, he can just let the bomb plant, because he doesn't really need to hunt him. You know what I mean? Like, he can just wait for the bomb plant to go down, and he pretty much knows the few hiding spots. The issue is B is a very complicated area to retake because there's just so many angles that I always can work with.
Ooh,
but
yes.
like I said, he knows those hiding angles that ours can come from, and
Trying to fake a defuse to bait Aura out, and Aura falls for the bait, but unfortunately still gets taken out.
the clutch though, the clutch. But like I said, you know, planting a B bomb site was the correct play, because it's just such a hard place to retake. There is like, you know, you can kind of go towards the CT side for or defending side of the B long. You can go through mid. So there's just so many places, so many angles that the attacking side can just hide and wait for the retake, and pretty much just backstab or flank the defending if they want to come in for the defuse. And I guess the retake was just not meant to be.
Frag!
Prodigy taking out I Love Elmo there. That's going to be a very big upset, but it's a 4v2 and
1v4.
Ooh, top fragger at this point, 15 kills, and Looks like he's on a rampage.
Irfan taken out.
Lost that round.
Yeah, it was tough.
Yet. Ready up.
Now, as we stand, it is 7-4, still in the favor of Envy, and
Defend the objectives.
this would definitely be a huge upset.
And once again, we see that crawling animation.
Super important to just molly down the mid to make sure that there's no rush coming out from hardliners. Prodigy with the scope gets the kill to I Love Elmo. It's pretty insane to see Prodigy just get. And from what I know, he's like super young, if I'm not wrong. Well, the young kid will complete the jump, the spray. He gets the triple kill in that round, and boy, oh boy, Envy. Prodigy just living up to the name that the Prodigy coming true.
Objective. Enemy has the bomb.
Hence the name.
How long do you keep your name as Prodigy before you change it up? Like, how long do you stay a Prodigy until you are no longer a Prodigy? That's a question though.
Technically, you can only keep it until you're like a teenager.
Then if that's the case, sooner or later he has to change the name.
Yeah.
But the
But
grenade
it's just a
coming
name.
in, grenade coming in takes him out. So a little bit of an early exit for Prodigy in this round, but it looks like Nige is able to hold this angle pretty well, although the trade comes in for Flash. Once again, it's all down to Flash to try to clutch this one out. Shadow gonna use the stab to heal up. This time it's a 2v1, so the retake definitely gonna be a lot easier. Although Irfan gets spotted out, rather Flash gets spotted out, tries to jump right into the mid.
You still have to retrieve the bomb. So,
Yeah, this is gonna be a tough case for Flash. It's the bombs drop in a very detrimental spot, and you know I think Shadow and Kai, they pretty much got most of the angles covered. It looks like Shadow's gonna spread all the way onto B long just to make sure that no one comes in from mid.
Time's almost up.
I think they pretty much know where Flash is coming from. They just gonna run the timer down. They do spot him on the first level. Kai trying to
shoot through the floor. War banks.
hope for the lucky warbangs, but eventually they will get the kill, and it is 9th round, and it is game point. Or rather, it is match point for them. For Envy, of course. And
Defend the objectives. The enemy has the bomb.
it has been a tough journey for both of these two teams, but only one will make it through into the grand finals. Unfortunately for Fame, there can only be one. The Uprising is awaiting the winner of the two Fame teams and Prodigy. Gonna be rotating around, tries to get the quick scope, doesn't really find anyone in that angle. Meanwhile, Nige takes out I Love Elmo. And this is where the B side just looks so juicy, but unfortunately it's gonna be up. And well, congratulations to Envy. They will proceed into the grand finals, and the team that they will be facing is going to be none other than Divinity Uprising. And well, given that the entire competition is a best of 3, we have yet to see Uprising to drop a single game. They won drums, they managed to win against Sibers, they also won I Am Squad, and but they won Hardliners, and eventually Hardliners got knocked out by Envy. So well, congratulations to Envy, they have a shot now at first place. But well, Herbert, coming into the grand finals, before we talk about that, let's run through the games that we just saw in our first map. What do you make of the second game though? Now that we switched from well, I wouldn't say it's a tough map to play. Raid is something that I feel it's a little bit more I don't know. I feel like both raid and submit have its differences. Obviously, in raid, it's a lot easier to get the C4 planted in B, but at the same, or rather, a lot easier to plant in A. But the retake is a lot easier as well because it's very one-dimensional. It's a very tight angle,
open.
and you know, for the defending side, it's super easy to go for the retake. Whereas from the B side, it's super open, and as hard as it is to break into the side, once you get the plant in, it's super hard to retake because there's just so many angles that the attacking side can hide and make it hard for the defending team to even have a possibility to spot them out. But you go to submit and it's completely different, you know. And I think MV just kind of shows the flexibility in both the maps, you know, having the ability to crush it early, and I guess it's that early, you know, those early few rounds getting in does give them that morale booster, and they suddenly become a lot more aggressive. And obviously you gotta give shout out to a couple of the players as well. Kai, you know, I think Prodigy as well as was it Shadow? I think one of them had the most amount of kills. Oh no, it's actually yep, Shadow had the most amount of kills in that game. So what do you think is the winning formula, or rather, what do you think connected so well for Envy?
I felt that Envy were playing really confidently. They're quite confident to take the trades, to push into the sides, and yeah, it was pretty much because of the morale, I guess. It was quite evident that they were very comfortable that game. Yeah, you can see like Kai trying for like the weird wallbangs through the floors. Yeah.
But I guess that first map was the biggest morale booster that they could take. And obviously now looking at the brackets, it is the grand finals between Divinity Uprising and Fame Envy. And well, I know you're not a betting man, but who do you think is gonna win this round?
Oh, we have
become the champion.
We haven't seen any gameplays from Divinity Uprising, so
Well, I have, and well, I'm gonna tell you now. I think Divinity Uprising will win. I'm not being biased. I've just seen them play a lot of tournaments, and I'm gonna be honest. They are a step above everyone in this current stage, in this current, you know, community. And I'm not sure can Envy actually pull a upset off, because I've seen close games between these two teams, but so far it has been Divinity Uprising that has been able to storm pretty much most of the local tournaments. So, you know, I'm gonna tip my chances, my odds towards Divinity Uprising. I think they're just that tad much stronger as compared to Fame Envy. But hey, I'm more than happy for Fame Envy to prove me wrong. I'm more than happy to celebrate an underdog's victory. But before that, you know, me and Herbert, we're going to take a break. We're going to give Fame Envy a little bit of a chance to catch a breather, and as well as Divinity Uprising to get ready into the lobby. So 5-minute breaks, and we will be back.
This tournament was brought to you by Asus ROG, and the finalists stand a chance to win the Asus ROG GTAX 11000, the lag-free and low-latency gaming router with one-click mobile boost. You can get the GTAX 11000 when you sign up for MyRepublic's Gamer Fiber Broadband. Go to myrepublic.net/sg/gamer for more information. Alright, finally we're getting some crossfire action. Divinity against Envious. I really like crossfire. It really puts an emphasis on the wide middle area where it's usually a sniper warfare. So I'm quite excited for this finals. And here we're waiting for the players to get ready.
Search offense objectives.
And here we have it. Match number 1. Divinity on the defending side and Envy on attackers. Here we see Ice coming in strong hit first, pushing mid. We haven't seen it. Oh. Okay, sorry, that was the warm-up round. Now it's the actual game. Right. Okay, it seems there was a technical issue. We have to check with the admins. Here.
Nice work.
No worries, the game will be replayed. And we'll see Divinity against Fame Envy for the championship finals. Yes, here we go again. Waiting for all players to load in. And as I was saying earlier on, this map places a very wide emphasis on the middle lane, where it's a very wide area and it's usually a sniper fest. Now we see Divinity pushing in from the right flank, trying to get into... trying to defend the B side. Envy's all stacked up and pushed up into the B side. However, the bomb is not planted yet. The Evans trying to do the warbangs. He knows that they're pushing into B, so he's trying to provide cover fire for the B defenders. Tries his luck for the warbang, nearly takes one. Oh, he was actually on spot, but then I guess that war wasn't warbangable, so no one took any damage. Here we have 50 seconds remaining and still no blood drawn. Kai got tagged. Prodigy with the sniper at the very far end of the map, trying to cover all areas A and B. Do we finally get to see an attack from Envy? Only 28 seconds remaining. Smoke's being thrown out. They are coming in hot into the B site, trying to plant a bomb in the smoke, but unfortunately got disrupted. And now it's left with Flex and Prodigy against two members of Divinity. And there's only 7 seconds remaining. They don't have time for this unless they take out Divinity, which unfortunately... Oh, that was so close. He tried to get the bomb planted down, but he ran out of time there. And there we have it. The first point goes to Divinity.
Destroy the objective. The enemy has the bomb.
Here we're looking at Prodigy, the main sniper, trying his luck through the mid, gets smoked out. He cannot see how many crossed into the A site, so tries his luck. He actually managed to do some warbang damage there. And the thing about Envy, they like to test water, so they're not actually rushing in headstrong into the B site, even though into the site. Now they know that the site is cleared, and we will expect a bomb plan by Shadow. Oh, it takes out one. Still no bomb plan. However, Divinity is down to 3v4. And there we have the smokes being thrown out, and Shadow finally planting the bomb in the smoke as coverage. Unfortunately, Shadow is left alone to defend the diffuser. And he gets hunted down and taken out. Once again, Divinity wins another point.
Defused. Nice work. Get ready for the next round. Defend the objective. They have the bomb.
Round number 3. And again, Envy holding up onto the A site this time round. They're trying to enter A site. Smokes are being thrown out. Here we're looking at Chingy pushing up and trying to flank them from the back. Unfortunately, he gets spotted out, so he backs off and play a little bit more passively in the side. But gets taken out anyways. Left with Heaven. The last player remaining on DVT's side gets taken out by the sniper. And here we have 2-1 in favor of Divinity.
Defend the objectives. They have the bomb.
Here we go, Divinity trying to take a pick of the attackers. And managed to find one. Nope, he just tags him. And they know that they're going to the B site, so we will expect some rotation from Divinity. Here. Fame Shadow.
Shadow with the C. And everyone didn't miss me. I'm
Welcome back.
Well, we're gonna see Fame play a little bit slowly. I've been watching the game, so obviously, and I think Fame they definitely cope a lot better in round number 3 after that 2-0 straight out coming for DVD. And I did hype DVD as the DVD Uprising as the favorites coming into this competition. You know, they have yet to drop a single game, and I'm sure they want to carry on that perfect record. I was discussing with Herbert a little bit. Did you mention about the T-sided or the CT-sided of this map?
For this map, it seems pretty much a very defender-sided map.
It is. But the issue about this is that once the T sites gets a plant onto B, it's super hard for the retake. Like it's pretty much a GG if the C4 does get planted on B bomb site, and you can definitely see that Prodigy wants to go for it. But we do have Shut Up who is rotating around right now. They know the bomb site's been planted. He's spraying right through, misses those shots, and
It's taken out by Nige.
and that's why the B bomb site is just so hard to retake, because it's such a tight corner, and you don't really have too much leeway to play around it. And I gotta say, for the most part, Fame has done well, given that this is such a CT-sided map. It's so hard to plant in B. It's not even if you decide to go for A, it's tough because of the buildings that are in the right corners that you have to go through, and it's just so easy to defend CT side. You can flood like 4 men, like what DVT is doing now. They're flooding 4 men on the A side, and then they put 1 down B just in case someone tries to sneak past and try to smoke and go through the buildings on B long. So in some sense, DVT Uprising, they're doing everything right to prevent the bomb plant, but you gotta give credit to the side of Fame Envy for them to get 2 rounds, even though it's only early in the game. I think it's pretty good effort.
I really like how Fame is actually playing this, even though they're taken out now. They like to test the water. They like to see which side has like a better defense, and then picks off any of the defenders that makes any mistake, then exploit it.
Absolutely, and
So
I do see quite a bit of an issue with the B side. I feel like it could be reworked to provide a little bit of a balance in some sense, because B side is so hard to take, and I don't know. I feel like Crossfire is just it's so CT-sided, and Ice, feeling confident, tries to go out, gets a kill on the Prodigy. Definitely not expecting that backstab coming up from Ice. They were pushing along A, and well, now they look at how high DVD are holding the ground. They're just basically just running through, and they're actually just running at Fame. And that did cost them a couple of lives there. Not sure if that was the result intended.
we're down with 2v5, 2v3 in favor of the attacking side. 1 minute remaining and the bomb is not planted yet. Fame, however, they managed to break into the B side.
This
we
is,
see Shadow.
I don't know. They are on the B side, but it's so hard to get the C4 planted because of the angle the DVT are holding. But they spot him out. They know that Heaven was there holding down the angle, and they get the kill. Well, just gotta say, DVD Uprising playing a little bit too greedily, a little bit too cocky in a sense in their previous round. They actually went for the rush, and although they did get the initial kill onto Prodigy through Ice, I felt like that was more than good enough. They should have just backed off after that. But nope, they tried to rush Fame, and they paid heavily for their mistakes by giving that round over to Fame Envy. And you obviously want to get as many rounds as possible into the T side, because when you go onto the CT side, it does take a lot of pressure off. And this being a CT sided map, I think 3 rounds is definitely more than good for Fame Envy. I have seen like tournaments where on Crossfire it happens to be like a 9-0 on the CT side. And obviously when you switch on to the T side, you feel really good about that, because all you need is just 1 round. And that just puts so much pressure on the opponents when they swap over, knowing that they cannot afford to slip up a single time.
Here we see once again Fame playing really slowly. which is a really legit strategy. We managed to cross over to the left side, the B side, and now all they have to do is stack up and rush into the site. With only 30 seconds remaining, smokes are being thrown out,
Time's almost up.
and we will expect a bomb plant in the smoke now. The bomb not planted yet.
The enemy has the bomb.
Now we're left with a 1v1. Unfortunately, that's taken out.
Yeah, once again, DVD getting another round in the back, and like I said, you know, CT side, you want to get as much rounds as possible.
They have the bomb.
Enemy in sight.
It looks like DVD eyes are gonna be pushing, or DVD it's gonna be pushing again. They're holding this very high line, and well,
Vim is really prepared for that push. So they know that Divinity likes to push.
Yep.
After a while, they get impatient. So Fame is trying to exploit that. So you see.
obviously Chingy getting 2 kills out of that.
Oh, and
Uh,
we see Shut Up has been disconnected from the game actually.
Yeah, but I don't think that's a big issue. He should reconnect pretty soon. His team is obviously doing well. It's a 2v1, and I think that's
The
pretty much
dude
gonna
left
be.
with a sniper gets taken out.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard for them to hold. And one final round before we will be swapping sides.
So 3 points on the attacking side. Actually not bad.
Defend the objective.
Given
Yeah,
that this is a really, really hard map to attack.
It is. And
Oh, we see.
I actually happen to know Divinity. Back in the olden days when he was playing Vainglory, and that's when I first knew him. And well, Chingy now currently in the main team of Divinity Uprising, and I mean, what can I say? He's such a talented gamer. Like whatever game he touches, he pretty much excels in it. And yeah, it's always nice to see like a player like him make it through. And now he's in the grand finals, and I feel like they are comfortable in this. He's really good with he's pretty good with a lot of items. Like his it doesn't matter what kind of weapons he's using, be it the Arctic 50, you know, whether it is the it subs as any of the I can't think of a weapon that he's bad on. He's just overall a very decent player. I mean, so far all the weapons that we saw, he's pretty good, and he also posts like a few of his highlights on his own Facebook page. So obviously Chingy contributing quite a bit to that particular game, and they will be swapping sides. So I mean we are starting back onto 5-3. So I think the game kind of crashed, but don't worry, we will be restarting the game with the same amount of scores as the last round. So I believe it's 5 going to DVD Uprising, and then 3 over onto the side of Fame Envy.
Search defense objective.
So it looks like we are finally back. Yeah, but remember the score is 5-3 as of now. Playing with 4 men. Not sure if that is intended, but the score is 5-3. So
5-3.
do you keep that in mind? So DVD Uprising gonna work with a little bit of a disadvantage, but well, it is a warm-up round. We are still waiting for the last member of DVD Uprising to get into the lobby before we do begin the round. And I think, I'm gonna press you for an answer here. What do you think is the strongest part about DVD as we have seen coming up for the first half of that map?
Well, for me personally, I feel they are way more skilled in terms of gunfight.
Okay.
Yeah, so they were actually winning more of their head-on duels. It was quite evident. Unfortunately, there were some rounds where they were greedy and Fame took advantage of it. Like
I guess so.
Yeah.
I think the one that was the most apparent was when they were, I think 3-3 up. They were like at 3-3, and then no, I think it was 3-2, and then DVD just for some reason just became super aggressive. Tried to push, and that was just a very weird moment because they were in the lead and they didn't really have to be that aggressive. I think in some sense DVD Uprising tried to pull a cheese move on the Fame Envy, and they did manage to get the first blood though. I remember Eyes obviously pushing onto A-Long, not A-Long, but through the A apartments. He managed to get a kill on the Prodigy, and then from there it just went downhill. They got picked off as they were rushing into the attacker side of the base, and it just didn't work out that well. But obviously after drawing it at 3-3, I guess to a certain extent, DVD Uprising have played a lot smarter since, and it's a 5-3, so not bad of a first half. And we do have one more round before we will be swapping sides, although I don't know how the matches are gonna go, because they should have swapped. They should be swapping sides after originally before they should be swapping sides. So I'm not sure how this is gonna be played out.
Meanwhile, while we're waiting for their servers to be fixed, so Aries, like, what are your favorite weapons? Your weapons of choices in Call of Duty Mobile?
It's the knife.
The knife.
I mean, you did ask for a weapon, and technically the knife is a weapon.
Okay.
But no, obviously I'm just kidding. I mean, if is there like a specific class of weapons that I have to choose from, or is like just based off like just my favorite weapon?
Just based on favorites. Like, what are the main weapons you use all the time?
I actually do like the PDW a lot. Like the PDW is just super. I feel like it's very useful across a lot of the maps, and it's just very. It's very simple to use. It's not a weapon that you need too much time on it to get used to, and at the same time, like short to middle range, it's really good. Obviously, you will lose out at long range because it's pretty hard to control. But that being said, I don't think we have seen a map in Call of Duty Mobile that is too long. It's like most of the maps are pretty close. Even for maps like Crossfire, if you're using the PDW, then all you have to do is kind of just avoid mid. It is still effective in most of the apartment fights. So yeah, I mean for me is absolutely going to be PDW. But if you were to ask me between the M21 and the Arctic, it's gotta be the Arctic. I mean it pretty much feels good. It's long range. You pretty much can get one tap in. So yeah.
Well, for me personally, I am kind of old school FPS gamer, so my pick is always the AK-47, regardless of what game it is. Yes.
But the AK-47 has like a lot of recoil, and you do rarely see a lot of people using AK-47. I feel most people do go for the Type 25 because the recoil is a lot easier, and given that you are playing on a mobile phone for Call of Duty Mobile, it's really hard to control the recoil. So generally players go for Type 25, and it has a high fire rate, and so it's a lot more effective for taking those medium to long range fights. You get like a lower TTK, and a lower TTK just means that you kill the opponents way more faster. But I can see your point. Like AK-47, those who are pretty new to the game will also try the AK-47. But I guess after playing the game for a while, you do ease into certain weapons of your choice. Right, so we are waiting for the final confirmation, but looks like we will be starting the game on 5-5. Apparently we are starting with that. Yep. So they gave the last round to Envy, and so we start the game over, but the score now just take it as 5-5, and we will also be swapping sides. So this is gonna be fair to Envy because we didn't really play the last round. So, and because the disconnect was on the Uprising player, so we're just gonna give that round over to Fame Envy. So yeah, pretty much all settled. So we do see that Fame is still on the attacking side. They're trying for the B plot.
Divinity, Incendio, now left with the clutch play. And gets taken up by Prodigy.
Ready up. Destroy the objective. The enemy.
So now I believe there's a 5-6 in favor of Envy.
Yep.
And given that this is a very defender side map, it's actually quite a feat for Envy to get 6 points.
Absolutely, and interesting to note though, they had to play like the rounds on even more rounds on the T side, and not sure if that's I mean they decided that they kind of agreed on that, so I'm very excited to see how Fame that's gonna perform, because I would definitely have chosen the CT side. That's just me. And once again, Fame Envy sticking a bomb plant in onto the B side. This is gonna be pretty hard to retake, and I'm sure this round will go towards
Time's almost up.
the side of Fame Envy, unless Shadow can pull something out of the back, and or rather Ice can pull something out of the back, and about the only thing he's pulling is lead to his face, and that's gonna be Fame Envy currently 7-5.
It seems like Shut Up is still having some issues. He's AFK at base. Evans get taken out. And now they're left. They're down with a 3v5. Fame seems to be doing really well on the attacking side.
Yeah, he got a lot of the entry frags, and that's the thing that I want to highlight. Like, a special crossfire, getting the entry frag to get the B plant is super important. And now we're gonna see Divinity try to strike back, comes back from the B apartments, but eventually gets gunned down. A triple kill over there for one of the DVT players, but it didn't work out in the end. It is
Destroy the
Envy that is currently up ahead once again. Prodigy got the most kill, while Shadow did get the most amount of kills on Summit in their matchup against Fame Hardliners. And against all odds, Fame Envy now leading the scoreboard at 8-5. 2 more rounds and we will go to what could be our final map. And Really excited to see which one that is. It might just be submit again. Chingy trying to defend against this push against Flex, as well as Kai. And well, you mentioned about Kai getting the entry frags. And it looks like Chingy's learned his lesson. He's holding the ground right now. No need to play too aggressively. Tries to go for a lucky nade. And it actually lags the mark. And Kai's taken out, and that is surely it's gonna be a warning sign. But C4 this time around gonna be quite a while before they do get the plant down. And in fact, it looks like the eyes are just gonna hold their respective corners, not allowed to go for the plant. Chingy trying to give a little bit of the love tap towards Flex. Though it doesn't really connect, and I guess the uprising, they're just gonna hold the ground. They don't need to be aggressive now because they can just let the timer run down.
Only
And
30
they
seconds
still got,
remaining now.
yeah, they got all 5 members still alive, so feeling pretty good, I would say. $20 and Inciendo did take quite a bit of damage. That being said, it's all down to Flex and Nige. Chingy eventually going down after doing some serious damage onto Flex. But 6 seconds, and I'm sure this is pretty much GG. And yeah, they won't be able to get the C4 planted down. Well, they did try, but Nige got taken out at the very last moment. So DVD currently 6-8 in the favor of Envy. And I mean, do you think it's possible? Does DVD have what it takes to come back? I know for sure they have. The question is, will they be able to pull it back? Given that, Envy, they're feeling pretty high, they're up in terms of lead. And obviously they're feeling pretty confident enough to stay on the T side.
You said before they were undefeated, so I mean, Divinity, they know they're good too, so there is that.
They fake the bomb plant, they get a kill onto Incendio and Ice, although looks like Nige did manage to get a kill onto Diggy, or rather onto Chingy. And Flex now gonna be checking out the B apartments, or the A apartments, where it's always common for these defending side to hold that corner, because that is the apartment that kind of gives you the most view from the defending side. And well, guess what? Fame Envy now one match, or rather 1 round away from clinching the first map. And I mean, if you are Fame Envy at this point, you must be feeling very high. Like the adrenaline must be going crazy in your veins.
It's that feeling where you just need 1 more point to close the map against a well-known team like Divinity. It's gonna be a really good morale booster there.
Morale booster is not the only thing that is gonna be beneficial to Envy. They also get 1 round in hand, which will definitely put a lot of pressure onto Divinity Uprising. And now Chingy once again corner. Yeah, it looks like Flex is the one that has swap spots. He runs out without checking the left side, and Kai's gonna be able to get the kill. The information transferred over onto Shut Up, however, failed to get the kill there, and now they're gonna finally get the bomb plant down. Ice,
Left.
and he actually pulled off a sick round. It's gonna be hard for him because I mean he has the Arctic 50, but it's gonna be super tough. There's so many angles that the side of Envy can kind of hold. And obviously they're disciplined, they're gonna be holding the angle there, and Kai once again pops out from the corner. The boogeyman of Envy will close that one out, and I'm sure that's GG. Yep. They're gonna leave the lobby here, so Divinity, well, they lost the first round, and it is gonna be Fame Envy that takes the first game in hand. Thoughts on that map?
Well, they did pretty good for underdog, yeah?
Absolutely, like take the first map, and not only that, marking the first L on Uprising's score sheet. Although that being said, this is a best of 3, so TV Uprising will have one more map to come back, and if they do come back in map 2, we will be going to a map 3. So I mean, the first map coming out of the Crossfire, well, I kind of expected it to be a lot closer, and it was pretty much a close map, like, well, up to the point where I felt like DVD Uprising through that first round in the round 6. So I just felt like it was an unnecessary push. That being said, you know, I know they're a really good team. They are very confident that they can win, and maybe they'll take things a lot more seriously in map 2. Maybe they're just giving a little bit of a chance to Evie. And I'm not going to take anything away from them because they are definitely a strong team. But looks like we'll be playing on Firing Range. And actually, this is one of my most favorite map to play on. I know I talked about Submit, but as much as I enjoy playing in Submit, Firing Range is actually my favorite map. Like, it's the one map that I really enjoy playing on because well, it's basically a sniper's heaven, and well, what can I say? I love a lot of sniping action going on. In fact, the rule that there can only be one sniper in the team will, it's definitely going to be a detriment towards a couple of players that might be too confident on the sniper rifles. Although, but they are certainly good enough to be flexible with whatever weapons they use. Prodigy is going to try to get a quick scope and misses the shot. Tries to trade it out with Heaven.
Seems like Fame is trying to push into the A site, and they actually got control. So now we're gonna see the bomb being planted in the A site. It's up to the 4 remaining members of Divinity to retake the site. 3v3. Coming in, shut up, trying.
Just holding the angle there, coming up the right time. C4, yeah, to get planted down, and finally it looks like DVD will be able to get the defuse.
Bomb defused. Nice work. Get ready for
And there we have. First point goes to Divinity.
As much CT sided as Crossfire is, when it comes down to firing range, I feel like it's a lot more balanced in some sense. Like, we're definitely going to see a lot more action coming to A. You know, it's rarely that teams will go to B because of how tight angle it is. And, you know, tight angles means that it's easier to defend because you can kind of get the pre-scope. You pretty much have the first initiative to take a shot. And Prodigy's going to get a wall bang through Heaven, although he did spot the hit. And once again, they're going to get the bomb plant down in A.
And it's left with Shut Up for the clutch play. 1v3. Can he do this? Has taken 2 kills. Ooh.
that round, but it's not over yet.
Almost. He nearly got that round. And 1-1.
Destroy the objective. They have the bomb.
Grenade out!
Right, we see here Flex with the aggressive grenade throw. He's actually lurking off from his team while the team is actually trying to stack into A. Playing a little bit more of their lurking role. Prodigy is trying to pick off someone from mid.
Obviously, we did mention that this is a sniper's map, so we're gonna focus a lot more on Heaven and Prodigy because of the range that they have as the snipers of the team. Obviously, if the teams had its wishes, everyone would be carrying a sniper rifle. But there is a reason why we set the rule in place, just to make sure that some of the action goes on. Prodigy kind of misses the shot right there. On Heaven's side, he also is doing a pretty good job at making sure that none of Envy's team are crossing that boundary, or the Prodigy is starting to push up now alongside A Long. Heaven missing those shots. It might just prove costly. Chingy's already the first one down. And Prodigy also got the kill on the Incendio. Kai is gonna trade out. Although I did manage to get the final blow off, and 3v2, and I would pretty much go A at this point.
Unfortunately for them, they have no choice. The bomb is dropped.
And well, if the C4 is dropped, they can kind of resort to clearing out the members, and looks like Heaven's gonna be the final member here. He's hiding right behind the desk, trying to go for a quick scope. 6 more seconds before round ends. Oh no! Oh, it was just so close. So close that DVD Uprising could have gotten that map, or rather gotten that point in the back, but well, Fame Heavy, they were hungry, they had the bloodlust, and to a certain degree they were a little bit lucky because the timer could have just run out on them there. But hey, they work hard for it, they are a hard-working bunch, they scream a lot, and I guess this is a testament to their hard work. And obviously, you know, during these difficult times, hopefully you guys are staying home, staying safe, and enjoying your Call of Duty mobile games. And please do be careful. I do tend to like to use my favorite weapon, the knife, to run around.
So if you spot someone in the public server with a knife, yeah, it's probably Ares.
Nah, I'm not that much of a VI. But we're talking Fame Heavy push in through once again, but Chingy and Ice both doing their parts, taking out the Kai as well as Flex, and instantly Divinity. Quick round for them, if I'll put it that way, tying it to 2-2.
Destroy the objective. They have the bomb.
Frag out!
Well, Herbert, now that we are in what possibly could be our final map, which team were you rooting for again?
Well, as I was mentioned earlier on, I said I was rooting for the underdogs, Fame. And you were rooting for Divinity, actually.
No, I wasn't rooting. I'm just saying that they were the first going in. I'm a partial caster, and well, I'm rooting for both teams. Whichever team wins, I will be really happy for them.
I'm hurt!
But this is a really interesting game, given that Fame has actually put up quite a fight here.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, no one kind of expected them to be able to not only get one map, but also be putting this much pressure on Divinity Uprising. And to a certain degree, man, like I said, you know, both teams are really hardworking. They're really good in the respective right. You know, they play a ton of ranked games, and we're gonna see whether or not that has paid off in this tournament so far. Chingy trying to draw information out. He did manage to get the first kill, but Flex processed the shots and managed to get the kill onto Chingy. Unfortunately, unable to clutch the crowd, but that being said,
The enemy has the bomb.
and we just trying to get a foothold into this game, because at this point in time, it's kind of a back and forth.
Seems like by now, both teams should have already known each other's strategies. So it's about who gets a step ahead, wins the game.
I mean, no offense, but you know, firing squad, not firing squad, but you know, firing range is a pretty brain dead map. There really isn't much strategies to go about as compared to like Summit, or you know, even for the side of not shoot house, but on the map of oh my goodness, I actually forgot the term of the map. Crossfire, yes, Crossfire. Oh my goodness, how could I forget? Yeah, but as compared to Crossfire, it is a more straightforward map. it is a map that really tests your marksmanship. Because on Summit, there's rotations that you can talk about. On Crossfire, there are ways that you can stick a bomb plant in. Whereas for Firing Range, it's one of the most open map out there. It's really all about who gets the first shot, who's able to get the first kill. And the reason being because this map has like 3 very long alleys. There's one in mid. For the A side, there is actually like 2 like long channels which you can kind of spray. And the only place that I would say is really close cornered is the warehouse, the white warehouse, closer to A, and maybe for B. That's about it. Other than that, most of it is just very open, and basically the team with the better sniper generally will win on firing squad. That's just the case. It is. It is what it is. Firing Range is just a very straightforward map.
Get down, sniper!
Now we're looking at Fame. Their first attempt to get into the B site.
Eyes there coming in with the first kill, and I think this should go in the way of DVD Uprising.
Oh, clean victory by Divinity, 5-0.
And it's currently 4-3, and like I said, very back and forth from these two teams. Neither one really dominating the other side, and even for Fame Envy, who's 1 point ahead, it is still proving to be a tough matchup for them. This is always a caster's dream when you're casting a match this close. And for those who are watching at home, well, big shout out to you guys. It is 12:32 here in Singapore, and I assume that most of the viewers will be living in Singapore, and I know there are a lot of DVD as well as Fame fans out there. So if you're watching this, shout out to you guys for always supporting your respective teams, and hopefully your team can win. But once again, shout out to your dedication and for staying this up this late to support your respective teams. But for now, it is DVD and Fame who are crashing it out in map number 2. Remember, Fame Envy has already 1 map in hand, so if they win this, they pretty much are your grand champions of the Call of Duty Mobile Tournament for the My Gamer Arena Season 2. I like how Heaven's just trying his luck. He's just spraying through the walls, hoping for a wallbang there.
Time's almost up.
Oh, the defender side slowly getting taken off. Now they're left with a 2v5. And the bomb is being planted in the A side. Heaven once again tried his luck, and this time he actually hit. And
not only that, he connected onto Nige, and all this time is being lost. And Shutter comes in from the flank. They get 2 kills, and Flex is the only remaining member left. I fear that this is probably GG. You need a couple of seconds before you can get the bomb plant down. And boy, oh boy, Heaven, the man of that round,
MVP.
coming in with the wall bang, getting another kill, and just delaying so much time. And obviously it was Shut Up who eventually put the nail in the coffin by rotating around and getting 2 backstab kills. And it was just insane coming up on DVD Uprising, and that's why I say you can't count them out just as of yet. There's a reason why they are one of the best, if not the best team out there for Call of Duty Mobile in Singapore.
Prodigy tries to get a pick, but he misses the shot. Good.
And
looks like MV is trying to set up a A plan. They're stacking up onto the A side. Prodigy is just trying to get as much info as he can from the mid. How many rotated into the side and how many in B. All about the wild guess, but then they know. They have a feeling that the A side is less defended at the moment, so Trying to look.
Obviously, you know, the A side is definitely gonna have the sniper, like the sniper rifle there, because of
Oof.
how hard it is to kind of defend short range. And well, Prodigy did manage to creep his way up, trying to use the pistol, but his teammate said, "Don't worry, I'll take it from here." Flex got the kill, and now it's gonna be a 3v1. Well, can Ice pull out the clutch like Heaven did in the previous round? We'll have to see. But for now, well, he is still using the AK, like you said, like your favorite weapon.
Oh,
So
gee.
pretty surprising. But it is Fame Envy that did manage to pick up that round, so we will be swapping sides right now.
Defend the objective. The enemy has the bomb.
I know this map is a balanced map, but if it was you, which side do you actually prefer?
It's hard to say. I generally do prefer playing on the CT side for most of the maps, because you know, holding definitely is a lot easier than, you know, trying to siege. But for this particular map, I like playing on the T side just because it's even. Like, it's not a map where, you know, you do get a lot of advantage if you're playing on CT. So if you're playing as a sniper on the attacking side, you generally have an even fair chance. And so I do prefer playing on the attacking side for this map. That's just my personal preference, and I'm sure a lot of players out there do love it when they get the entry kill, and that's why I always give a lot of big ups to Kai. He's most of the time the entry fragger for Fame, and you know, I think especially in the map of Crossfire, he did manage to get a lot of these entry frags, and that was definitely beneficial to Fame Envy, because, you know, like I said, the map of Crossfire is super CT sided, and the only way you can really break into the B's bomb site is that if you get the kill in the apartments, either that or you throw like a lot of utilities, and even by doing so, if you're the CT side, you can pretty much just either wallbang or just spray at the general area where the bomb can be planted, because it's such a squeezy corner. Either that or you can just throw a nade. So if you're playing on the attacking side, it's so hard to get a foothold into the bomb site unless you can get an entry frag, and that's why I really do respect entry fraggers. And I mean, there's a reason why I look up to you as well when you're playing FPS games, because you somehow can get entry frags. And I don't know, I'm more of a lurker, so yeah, it's just different roles. And you know, there's a local saying of, you know, people being laps up like dirty, and that's just the kind of player I am. I love getting lurk kills. It just feels so good, because it's kind of like a tactician kind of role where you have to play mind games your opponents.
They have the bomb.
AKA
So
you're pest.
No. You can't put it that way. I know they, like, it's part of the game, and you know, the opponents also have lurkers, and well, lurkers are generally the ones that will try to catch the opponent off guard. And so I would say in a sense it's a lot more of an easy job as compared to the entry fragger, because the entry fragger has so many angles that you cover. And it kind of shows down into Call of Duty Mobile, where, you know, Kai as a player, he has so many angles to look for when he's you know, entry fragging. And on the retrospective, on the other hand, if you look at Shadow, he is a really good defender. He's just a person that can hold his ground really well, and it kind of shows, you know, in the map of Summit. I do not know if you actually do remember. He was actually the one with the most amount of kills, because he holds his angles well. He's able to, you know, fend off 2 to 3 members of the opponent team coming in, and yeah, I guess, like, in Summit range, he doesn't have a lot of kills now, but it shows that my theory is consistent, because fire range you don't see people rushing in to B, so he's not exactly holding an angle where you will see a lot of people rush in, and because of that he doesn't really get a lot of kills. Where else, if you look at like Prodigy, he's getting the most amount of kills. You know, you look at Heaven, he's also one of the top fraggers of the team, and so yeah, it really comes down to the map as well as the role that you're playing, that kind of benefits, that kind of, I wouldn't say dictate, but gives you a slight advantage when you're playing a certain role.
Time's almost up.
But it isn't impossible. We saw them come back from this before. It was a 2v4, but now suddenly it's a 2v1. Shadow just getting a lot of kills there. I think I kind of awoken a monster, and I did speak about Shadow having the lowest frag. Well, suddenly Shadow getting so many kills on the board, and they will also get the diffuser. And for Fame Envy, they must be feeling over the moon at this point in time. 8-5, 2 more rounds to go, but the job not yet done. And like I said, DVD Uprising does an absolutely fantastic team, and it is possible for them to come back. But Herbert, what do you think? What do you think they can do to actually stop Fame Envy in their tracks?
Well, like I always say, it's always the morale thing. Now, I mean, if I put myself in the shoes of Dividend now, you feel a little demoralized, but you have to always tell yourself, no, you can do it. So, yeah, you have to play a little bit more confidently, and well, if you play confidently, you take better shots. That's like you see what they're doing now.
Yeah, I guess to some extent, it's true. If you're confident, you tend to miss less of your shots because you tend to doubt yourself. Like you don't doubt yourself as much. And when you put a lot of doubt in someone's head, they think too much. Whether should I take the shot? Should I pre-fire? And you get all this like unnecessary distractions in your way of the game. So yeah, I do agree. Morale is definitely a very big part of the game. And moreover, they are playing Call of Duty at the highest level, so yeah, like any slight distractions can prove to be detrimental in their performance. Prodigy getting taken out. This pretty much is a DVD's round, and yeah, it's gonna be 6-8. Still really close. I don't think I have seen a single point in time where either of these teams have had more than 3 points over the other side.
Defend the objective. They have the bomb.
Both sides are proving to be in the same league in terms of skill level.
Well, they are very familiar with each other playstyles. Like you said, they have been playing with one against one another, and so many of the tournaments in a local community. So I wouldn't be surprised if this is like pretty much a monthly affair for them.
Oh, now we see Divinity clawing their way back into the game.
7-8. It is really close right now. We have been seeing Duty Uprising attacking the A bomb site in like 4 rounds in a row now. Obviously, one of them a little bit unsuccessful because Fame Envy did manage to get the diffusal. Oh, the wall!
That was disgusting.
Heaven just tried his luck, and he did manage to get a kill there. That's one for the highlight reels, but Fame Envy, they still have 3 members alive. Good scope coming from Prodigy. He held his angle well, and Shut Up was the one that went down. And Ice is just gonna get cleaned up by Flex. 9-7. And it pretty much is championship point. Not even match point. It's game point, match point, as well as championship point.
Championship point.
Defend the objective.
Well, if DVD Uprising have any tactics up their sleeves, it's time to pull it out now, and hopefully they can. Prodigy. Vision kind of deterred, tries to go for the scope, misses the first kill. Oh, he gets the double kill. That's double kill to heaven. And now it's a 3v2. Shut up and
gonna be so devastating for Divinity now.
Try to get the bomb plant down, but Prodigy too smart for that. And a young little talent. Not only that, he switches the sniper out. He nearly gets a kill to Shut Up. And Shut Up's gonna rotate right onto the stairs, gets another backstep, and 1 minute. Still have yet to get the C4 planted. Well, it's kinda trapped on where Shadow is. And interestingly enough, they swapped their rifles. Shadow now taking the role of the sniper. Meanwhile, we do see Prodigy. Pretty sure that there is no one around. He's holding the Type 25 as of now, and he certainly does look very confident. But here we go. There it is. The championship point secured, and your grand champions of the MyRepublic Gamer Arena is none other than Fame Envy. Man, what an upset that was. But at the end of the day, congratulations to the Dark Horses. They came out strong, and you know, we got over for production as well. You know, obviously Fame Envy were the sub team, and not only was it like amazing for them, I'm sure they're over the moon at this point. They're probably like smashing their windows. I'm going a little bit too far. I'm going a little bit too far. Imagine celebrating so hard you throw your phone out of the window when you celebrate, like yes, and then it just flies out the window. But yeah, congratulations to Fame Envy. Not only did they beat their fellow clansmate in Flip Fame Hardliners, they also defeated DVD Uprising. And what can I say? That was just a fantastic performance coming out from Fame Envy.
Well done. My Dark Horses.
It's like this. It's like this. Proud now. But yeah, with that being said, you know, congratulations to them, and obviously, big shout out to Asus. For supporting. Asus has been very supportive of us, and once again, you know, thank you very much, and we'll see you next time around.